Good evening and welcome back to my channel, Stitches with Love. My name is Elizabeth, and this is where I share all about my knitting adventures on and off the needles. And today I have one thing off the needles and a couple of projects currently on that I'd like to share with you. So if you're curious, grab a cup of something cozy and come along with me. I have a double dose of my chamomile tea tonight because it has been a very long week and I'm exhausted. I'm already in my nightgown. It's only 7 o'clock at night. I do not care. So I'm going to let this cool while I talk about all of my knitting adventures this week. So last video, I talked about starting up a pair of socks from the Red Cross Society from World War II. I was just waiting on the yarn to come in. It has. I have everything in this bag here. This was made by my great aunt Myrta Bell Swallow. She's got her name written in here actually. I don't know how well you can see that. Right there. Myrta Swallow. There is unfortunately not a date in here, so I don't really know how old exactly this is, but she lived to be 99 and 1/2 years old. Quite old, but still sturdy. It's still holding up. It's showing some wear, tear, but I love it, and I decided it would be perfect to keep a vintage pattern and project in because she went through 2 wars, 3 wars, 4? Maybe it was 4 that she would have seen in her lifetime. But at any rate, let's talk about the pattern. So I am going to be using this pattern. It's from the American National Red Cross, Washington, D.C. It is simply called Man's Sock. I'm not going to go a lot into the pattern and the details tonight, but if you are curious, I do have a pinned post at the top of my Facebook page, and you can keep track of my progress there. This is the yarn I'm going to be using, navy blue. This is Cascades Heritage sock weight yarn. This is as far as I've gotten. This is only the first sock, and they are being done on steel needles that were actually, owned by my great grandmother, the sister of the woman who made this bag. So lots of history going on here. I don't know if my great grandmother, Dorothy Eva, we called her grandmama. I don't know if grandmama ever made socks for the war effort specifically. I wouldn't be surprised if she did because she was a knitter. She knit socks for her children all the time. And at the time that there was a war on, everybody was knitting socks. So it's entirely possible that she did. I guess I'll have to ask some of my family members. Maybe one of them might know. I don't know. So that's my newest project, cast it on and making some progress. I'm very much looking forward to the end result. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later on, probably in its own dedicated video. I have something off of the needles. These are the March socks of the month. Really pleased with how they turned out. These were done, originally started 2 at a time, and I got as far as just starting the feet after the gussets, and I was so frustrated by that time of doing 2 at a time. I separated them and finished them individually, but very happy with how they turned out. The colorway, this is Happy Camper, and I don't remember what the green colorway is. They're both from the March Yarnable color of the month, and I'm very pleased with how they turned out. They remind me of Lucky Charms. So those will be dropped off tomorrow for the recipient. And these are well, this is the first of the pair. This is the April sock of the month. I am to the point now where I just need to sew up the toe. Really pleased with how it's turning out so far. So after I finish the toe, I will cast on for the second sock and hopefully have these done within the month of April. The other thing I'm working on, just kind of here and there, this one doesn't really have a deadline specifically. These are, whoop, I'm tangled up here. Oh my goodness. These are another pair of vanilla socks. Haven't made a lot of progress on them. They're going to be done in the same pattern as the April socks, but I haven't really decided on a contrasting color. Do I have it in here? I guess I don't. I was thinking something like a plain tan, although I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm just going to do all one color. I really haven't decided yet. I had my sock bin. Where's my sock yarn? Oh, it's over there. I'm not going over there right now to get it. So these may or may not have a contrasting color. They might just be all the same. I don't know. I have been doing a lot of knitting this week, but not really on a variety of projects. Mostly I was just finishing up the March socks of the month, which I did do, and then working on the April socks of the month. I did a little tiny bit of work on the sweater, but I don't know. I haven't really had much interest in knitting. I'm almost getting bored, I think, of it, and I think I just kind of want to slow down a little bit and not try to do loads of projects at the same time and just maybe finish one or two and then finish another one or two and just kind of pace myself a little more because I think I'm just getting a little overwhelmed. And so I just don't think I really want to go into the upcoming summer with loads of projects and feeling like I have to get everything done. And I have other projects I want to do. So I don't know. I mean, do you guys feel that? I think fatigue in our hobbies is a very real thing. And I think it's kind of a way that our bodies tell us we need to slow down and just enjoy the process and not try to hurry up and finish. Or maybe it's just our need to create. I think as humans, we need to just create and do, and maybe it's just an artist thing. I don't know. I think a lot of fiber artists feel that way, where we just have this need to constantly have our hands in fibers and textures and patterns. And I don't know, but definitely feeling a little tired of my hobby right now. And it's like my main hobby. Um, Speaking of hobbies, I brought home a few more books that I absolutely do not have time to read, but maybe if I look at them, I might read them before I have to return them to the library. I don't even know the titles. They just looked interesting on the shelves, and I thought maybe I'm going to be somebody who gets through a book in a timely period. Or maybe I will still be the same kind of person right now who just looks at books and thinks about reading them, but doesn't actually read them. I did a little bit of work on my watercolor painting, but I bought some watercolor pencils to try out because I was curious about how they worked. So I did just finish a picture for somebody. It's going to be a gift. Um, I didn't grab it because I wasn't really planning on talking about it, but I'm hoping that maybe in the next few weeks I can just sort of allow myself to slow down a little and pursue some of my other hobbies just a little bit at a time, so I'm not getting burned out on knitting, and so that I'm um, not making progress, improving, so that I'm improving on the things I would really like to learn, like drawing and painting. I'd like to get into that a little bit more. I think that's really all I have to share tonight. I'm going to go finish the April sock of the month. Um, and then hopefully cast on the second one right away. I'm gonna have some tea, and I think I'm just gonna have a quiet, relaxing evening at home. Until next time, happy knitting, happy drinking, and God bless.